Hello and welcome to the Feminine Millionaire Show. I'm your host, Polly Alexander. I'm a success coach, healer, creative and future millionaire. If creating money and success in a spiritual and feminine and joyful way is your goal, this show is for you. Let's all rise together. Hello and welcome to episode 108 of the Feminine Millionaire Show. Now today's episode is a little different. As you know, this podcast is called the Feminine Millionaire Show, and it's all about becoming a millionaire in both life and business. So this is not just about the money. This is about how rich you feel inside. This is about living your rich life, doing the things that bring you joy and fulfillment, and living in the world in a way that feels aligned for you. A rich life is one that feels wealthy to you, and that includes feeling that you have a purpose here, that you're doing meaningful and fulfilling work, and that you have encounters, connections, and relationships that are filled with love, that are meaningful and heart-opening. And today I'm sharing something I experienced in my own life along my entrepreneurship journey that opened my heart. And it's something that I've subsequently been able to give to others. But I'm going to start in a surprising place. Okay, before I dive in, let me tell you where inspiration for today's episode actually came from. So, last night, I sat down on the sofa and I was just exhausted. I was way too tired to connect or be creative and produce this week's podcast episode. And the reason I was so tired is that I was kept awake by Partygate, as I like to call it, aka the owners of the apartment above me illegally renting it out to tourists, in this case a large group of young Spanish guys who continued the post-club party at 6 a.m. This resulted in a lack of sleep for me, and then the first few hours of my day being spent speaking to security, speaking to the police, and trying to get this stopped. So not surprisingly, I wasn't really in the place of most creative flow when it came to writing this podcast episode. So I surrendered to it. I tuned into what I most needed, and I needed just to sit down and rest and watch some Netflix. And remarkably, that's when inspiration came in. So the inspiration for today's episode actually came from the first episode of a brand new Netflix series called Glamorous. This is a comedy drama series about a young fashion influencer who joins a beauty company. And I think this is a reminder that inspiration can come from everywhere and anywhere. And often it's when we stop pushing and searching and surrender and let go that it effortlessly drops in. So in this first episode of Glamorous, aspiring influencer Marco is working at a beauty counter in a department store when he has a chance meeting with the founder of the brand, Madeline Addison, who is visiting the store. She asks him to do her makeup, and after listening to him share his ideas on the brand and what people really want, she decides to take a chance on him and hires him as her new assistant. Now, watching this happen triggered a lot of emotion for me, and I was curious why. Upon reflection, I realised that what touched my heart so deeply and brought tears to my eyes was the power of that gesture, the power of believing in someone and seeing their potential. It's a gift I have received myself in the past, and a gift I've been able to give to others too, in my personal life and of course professionally as a coach and mentor. So I'm going to share a story with you. Back in 2008, when I was first starting my photography business, I had the support of the Prince's Trust and received a mentor from them. As part of this support, I was invited to a fundraising dinner. And after that dinner, I received this email from one of their supporters, a gentleman senior in the finance and banking world, whom I sat next to at dinner. So when I watched this scene on Glamorous, the Netflix show, it immediately brought to mind this same experience I had. And so I was motivated to look and see if I could find this email. So I pulled out my big boxes of old letters, old notes, old thank you cards, and I found it. And I'm going to read it out to you today. Polly, I hope you're well. I don't know if you'll remember me. I sat to your left at dinner last Thursday evening at the Prince's Trust event. I felt compelled to send you a note as you enter the world of full-time photography this week. Although I have hundreds of good people who work for me, I have never met anyone with as much enthusiasm, drive, or passion for their chosen career as I see in you. It is refreshing to meet someone who has pursued their dream in spite of hardships along the way, while keeping a real focus on their goal. You mentioned that you feel nervous and overwhelmed by the volume of work and the challenge ahead. However, in the short time we spoke, I have absolutely no hesitation in predicting that you will be a huge success. You have a very charismatic personality, so much so I felt the need to write. Therefore, if you can meet enough people, you will always have plenty of work. I hope you believe in the power your personality brings to your business, and I wish you the very best for the future. Kind regards, Paul. What did this do to me? What did this do for me? Firstly, it helped me see something in myself I could not yet see, and I still don't sometimes. Secondly, it gave me confidence and encouragement for the new path I was on. Remember, I was a new entrepreneur. I'd gone from working in a company, having a salary at the end of every month, to this whole new, uncertain adventure. Thirdly, it gave me strength. And lastly, it made me feel cared for. At this time in my life, I did not have a man in my life that was there to support and encourage me, either in the form of a father figure or a partner. And receiving this support from the masculine was deeply nourishing for me. So I went on Google to see if I could track down this man 17 years later to tell him just how much this gesture meant to me. But it was hard to find anything about him. I found his career CV, but there were no contact details. I tried LinkedIn, no profile. I tried Facebook, no profile. And then deep in the Google search results, there it was. A Just Giving page. A Just Giving fundraiser in memory of Paul. This was posted less than 3 years after he sent me this email. Less than 3 years after this gesture, he passed away very early. And on that page were these words: Paul sadly passed away on Wednesday the 18th of June 2014. He was a positive influence and a force for good for those in his life, and he touched the lives of many. He certainly touched my life. And you could say he lived a truly rich life because of the impact he made on others. What greater legacy to leave than this? I looked back at the email and I noticed something I had never seen before. His email to me was sent on the 29th of September 2006 at 11:11 a.m. A true angel. And when I came home today to record this episode for you, I arrived home, there was a big white feather on my doormat. And I truly believe that here with us now, as I share this episode with you, is Paul in spirit. This man that made such an impact on the lives of others, and a reminder to each of us what really matters. So I invite you into a takeaway from today's episode, that you, no matter what you do, no matter how old you are, no matter what career you have or where you are, you get to make a difference in the lives of others. Through your words and your belief in them, you get to be a real life angel in someone else's life. May the richness of this story today open your heart with love and abundance. I hope you enjoyed today's episode. Now, lots of you have been contacting me by email and social media asking how you can work with me. So we are working on a new website behind the scenes that will make it clearer the different options available to you. But for now, you can reach out regarding one-to-one coaching and Thrive Beautifully, my women's mastermind. These are higher level investments. And you have the Abundance Accelerator, which is a self-study product. It's a 14-day energy healing journey to help you clear your money blocks and manifest more abundance. I'll put a link to that under the show notes. These are the ways that are currently open that you can work with me. And trust me, we're working behind the scenes to make more of my programs available to you when you need them. You can also, if you're new to my community, sign up to my free success meditation with the link in the show notes. I look forward to serving you with all my heart. See you again next week.